Hey guys, so in today's video I thought I'd share with you a couple of coping strategies I use when I feel anxious or I'm having a panic attack. Now, the first is for when I'm in a place where I don't feel safe, so say, I'll give you an example actually. Say today, my girlfriend and I decided we'd go into town, and usually if I go in town it's the middle of the night on a Sunday or a weekday night where I know there's not going to be a lot of people. So yeah, and I still get a bit anxious if I did that. But today we went in and it was around 5 p.m. It was quite busy. It was sunny, and as I told you in my last video, the heat makes me anxious as well. So yeah, I went in and I was feeling a little anxious. Now this is a strategy I use in that kind of situation. It's more of a calming strategy than anything else. So what I do, as soon as I start feeling anxiety creep up on me, I say to myself, why are you feeling anxious? Say this in your mind, obviously not out loud, you don't want to look weird, but say to yourself, why am I feeling anxious? There's no reason for me to be anxious. Millions of people do the same thing I'm doing now every day, and they don't feel anxious. And then say to yourself, I've did this before, and I've not been anxious then, because chances are, most of your life you've been fine, then 1 year anxiety's crept up on you, And before anxiety, you were doing exactly the same thing without feeling anxious. It just felt like a normal part of your day. So say that to yourself. Say, why am I anxious? There's no reason to be anxious. The only reason I am anxious is because I'm telling myself that I'm anxious, or that I am going to be anxious. And, just calm yourself down like that. Bring yourself down to earth. So yeah, say, why am I anxious? Why am I letting myself get anxious? There's no reason for me to be anxious, because this is not a dangerous situation. This is something everyone does every day. And there is nothing here that is threatening me. There is no signs of any disease. None of this anxiety has any signs of disease or an illness. It's just thoughts, horrible thoughts, but they're thoughts nonetheless. So tell yourself that when you're in a place where you don't feel as safe as you would in a normal situation with your anxiety. Now, the second strategy I use, and this is for when I'm in a place where I feel safe. So say, for me, everyone has a safe place, where they feel safe when they're anxious. For me, it's my house in my bedroom. That's the only place where my anxiety is not as bad. So, when you're in your safe place, say to yourself, when you feel anxiety start coming, or a panic attack, challenge it. Say, all right, you want to make me panic, you want to make me anxious, do your best. Give me your worst. Because I know it is not going to hurt me. It can't hurt me. No one's ever died from a panic attack, and that's scientific fact. No one has ever died or been hurt from a panic attack. So challenge it, really challenge it. Say, all right, give me the heart palpitations, give me shortness of breath, make me feel weak, make me feel dizzy. I guarantee after you've done that, I'll feel fine, So say that to yourself, and eventually the panic attack will end, and you'll realise how much, how in control of it you actually are. And I know this strategy may sound a little scary, but trust me, it really does work. And if you don't feel safe doing it, by all means, stick to the first strategy. But it really does work, and in a way I'm proof. I'm not 100% cured, and that's going to take a while, but for 3 years of my life, I sat in home doing nothing about my anxiety. I sat there, thinking, playing the victim card, like, why me, why can everyone else go out and just, I'd watch someone go into a shop, and I'd be sat in the car, and I'd have to get someone to go into the shop for me to get me something, because I thought that I knew I'd have a panic attack if I went in. So that last strategy kind of changes that. It says, I'm not a victim. If anything, I'm the one doing this to myself. So, give it a try. Let me know in the comments if it works for you or not. If it doesn't, there's probably something else I could tell you, some more strategies if you need help with anything. But yeah, that's basically the two strategies I tend to use for those situations. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to tell you. also, guys, another way you can look at your anxiety is think, you know, if I've been able to cope with this for as long as I have, you know, and survive, and, you know, and try my hardest and not give up, that this is going to make me strong. This is going to make me mentally strong, you know, to be able to cope with things that, you know, your average person is not going to be able to cope with, because they don't spend, you know, every day in a battle with themselves. So, you know, think of it like that. Don't think, if this never gets better, my life's down the drain, or, you know, I may as well end it, or something silly like that, because that's giving up. And, you know, fighters don't give up. So yeah, just think how strong you're going to be when you get this cured, you know, mentally. So yeah, keep that in your mind when you do, you know, on days where you feel down. I think that about does it, and in the next video I'll probably tell you a bit about, you know, diets and the way you eat and how that has an effect on anxiety, and also sleep patterns, because I know from personal experience, when you're anxious, sleep is the last thing on your mind, you know. So I'll see you in the next video, guys. If this helps you, please like, favourite and subscribe, and please leave a comment and let me know how it went for you. And none of this is a quick fix, by the way, you know. It all takes time, just the same way as anxiety took time to settle into your brain. This kind of thing will take the same time, you know. Maybe a bit longer, maybe less. It all depends on how hard you attack it. But you can do it. So remember, guys, we don't have to be anxious, and I'll see you in the next video.